a small American village, hidden deep in a cold region of Alaska, looked almost frozen in time. Short, solid houses stood quietly under thick layers of white snow. Smoke rose slowly from chimneys, and the wind whispered through narrow streets. In one of those small houses lived Ethan Cole. Just a few houses away lived Emma Brooks. Same village, same weather, same struggles. Same age, both around 30. Same dreams to leave this place and build something bigger. But one small difference, that changed everything. Every morning before the sun fully rose, Emma was already awake. She would wrap herself in a simple coat, step outside into the freezing air, and take a deep breath. Her hands would be cold, her shoes slightly worn, but her eyes full of determination. She had started small, helping people with basic online tasks, selling handmade items, learning new skills every single day. Nothing big, nothing glamorous. But one rule she never broke: do it today. Meanwhile, inside his room, under a thick blanket, Ethan would turn to the other side. The alarm had been ringing for the past 10 minutes. He opened his eyes slightly, looked at the time, and sighed. "I'll do it tomorrow." He pulled the blanket over his head again. Ethan wasn't a bad person. He had dreams too. Big dreams. He wanted to start a business, earn money, leave the village, live in a big city. But there was always one problem. He never started. Or when he did, he stopped halfway. And when something didn't work, "I'll fix it tomorrow." Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Emma kept moving, slowly but consistently. She learned how to sell products online. She helped small clients. She saved a little money. Each day, one step forward. Ethan, he stayed in the same place, scrolling, thinking, planning, delaying. Tomorrow will be the day. But tomorrow never came. One evening as snow gently fell outside, Emma knocked on Ethan's door. He opened it lazily. "Hey." Emma smiled, her cheeks slightly red from the cold. "I'm planning to move to the city next month." Ethan blinked. "The city?" he repeated. "Yeah," she said. "There are more opportunities. I've saved enough to start something small." Ethan paused. For a moment, something inside him moved. A spark. "I was actually thinking the same," he said quickly. "I'll start too. I just need a little time." Emma looked at him, not judging, not mocking, just calm. "Ethan, time doesn't wait." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The thought kept repeating in his mind. She's leaving. She's actually doing it. He sat up. For the first time in months, he opened his laptop seriously. He started planning, writing ideas, searching, learning. And then, after an hour, he closed it. "I'll continue tomorrow." A few weeks later, the day arrived. Emma packed her small bag. Nothing expensive, just essentials. But inside her, confidence, consistency, discipline. Ethan stood outside, watching her. "You're really going," he said. Emma smiled. "Yes." She paused, then looked at him directly. "You can still come." Ethan hesitated. "I will," he said. "Just not today. I need to prepare." Emma nodded slowly. "Okay." Then she said something simple, but powerful. "Just don't let not today become never." The bus arrived. Emma stepped in. The door closed. And just like that, she left. Ethan stood there for a long time. Cold wind hitting his face, snow falling around him. Silence. Days passed. Then weeks. Then, finally, one morning Ethan woke up, not because of the alarm, but because something felt different. Empty. The village felt smaller, quieter. He stepped outside, looked around, and realized something he had been avoiding for a long time. Everyone who moved forward had already left. That same day, without overthinking, without saying tomorrow, for the first time, Ethan packed his bag. And this time he didn't wait. The city didn't wait for anyone. It moved fast, loud, and endlessly alive. Tall buildings touched the sky. Streets were filled with people chasing something, and every second felt like an opportunity or a loss. Emma Brooks stepped into this new world with the same simple bag, but a completely different mindset. She didn't waste a single hour. On her very first day, she found a small rented room. Not perfect, not comfortable, but enough. She sat down, took out her notebook, and wrote one line clearly. No delays, no excuses. Do it now. The next morning, she woke up before sunrise. A strict routine began. Wake up, work, learn, improve. Repeat. She started small again. Freelance work, online selling, digital services. Anything honest, anything consistent. She failed many times. Clients rejected her. Some payments got delayed. Some ideas didn't work, but she never said, "I'll fix it tomorrow." Instead, she said, "Fix it now." Days turned into structured weeks. Weeks turned into productive months. Slowly, her income started growing. Her confidence grew even faster. She upgraded her room, then her tools, then her business model. She began hiring small help, expanding her reach, building connections, all because she respected time. Meanwhile, Ethan Cole finally arrived in the city too. His journey started with motivation. He remembered Emma's words. He promised himself, "This time, I'll change." The second day, he made a plan. The third day, he delayed the plan. "I'll start properly tomorrow, while dial." He delayed the plan. He whispered again, and just like before, the cycle returned. Ethan rented a room, not far from Emma's area, but their worlds were already different. Emma's mornings started with purpose. Ethan's mornings started with snooze alarms. Emma tracked every hour. Ethan lost hours without noticing. Emma took action. Ethan kept thinking. He had ideas, good ideas. But ideas without action remained nothing. One afternoon, Ethan met Emma again. She looked different. Not rich yet, but sharper, more focused, more confident. "You made it," she smiled. "Yeah," Ethan replied. "I'm just settling. I'll start soon." Emma nodded calmly. She didn't argue. She didn't lecture. She just said, "Start today." Ethan smiled awkwardly. "Yeah, tomorrow for sure." Emma looked at him for a moment. This time, her voice was slightly firmer. "Ethan, tomorrow is the most dangerous lie you tell yourself." But Ethan laughed it off. "Relax. I've got time." Time, the one thing he kept losing without realizing. Months passed. Emma's small work turned into a steady business. She created systems, daily goals, weekly targets, no excuses. She started waking up at the same time every day, even when she was tired, even when she didn't feel like it, because she understood something powerful. Discipline is stronger than motivation. On the other hand, Ethan kept restarting and stopping, restarting and stopping. Some days he worked hard, but inconsistency broke everything. He would work one day, then rest 3 days. He would plan 1 week, then waste the next. His money started running low. Stress increased, but still, he delayed decisions. One night, sitting alone in his room, he looked around. Small room, unpaid bills, empty desk, big dreams, but no progress. He closed his eyes. Frustration hit him hard. "Why am I still here?" he whispered. The answer was simple, but painful. Because he kept choosing later instead of now. The next morning, Ethan finally decided to visit Emma's workspace. When he entered, he froze. It wasn't huge, but it was alive. People working, screens running, tasks moving, energy flowing. Emma stood there confident, focused, in control. She wasn't the same village girl anymore. She had grown, not just in money, but in mindset. Ethan walked slowly toward her. "Emma." She turned and smiled. "Ethan, it's been a while." He looked around again. "You built all this?" "Step by step," she replied, "every single day." Ethan swallowed hard. For the first time, he didn't have an excuse. He only had a question. "How?" Emma walked closer, her voice calm but direct. "I stopped waiting." She continued. "I stopped saying tomorrow. I stopped depending on motivation. I started respecting time." Ethan stayed silent. She pointed at a desk. "Every day I sit here at the same time. No matter what. I do what needs to be done, not what I feel like doing." She looked him in the eyes. "That's the difference." Ethan felt something shift inside him. Not motivation, something deeper. Realization. He nodded slowly. This time, he didn't say, "Tomorrow." He whispered, "I understand." Emma replied softly, "Then prove it." Outside, the city kept moving fast. But this time, Ethan stood still, just for a moment, before taking his first real step forward. The city was still the same. Fast, loud, unforgiving. But something had changed. Ethan had changed. For the first time in years, he didn't wait for the perfect moment. He didn't wait for motivation. He didn't wait for tomorrow. The very next morning, he woke up early, not because he felt like it, but because he decided to. He forced himself out of bed, even when his body resisted, even when his mind whispered. "Sleep a little more." He stood up anyway. This was new. This was uncomfortable. But this was real. He followed a simple rule. No overthinking, just action. He made his bed. He cleaned his small room. He opened his laptop, and instead of planning endlessly, he started working. The first day was hard. The second day was harder. The second day was harder. The third day, his old habits tried to pull him back. "Skip today. You can continue tomorrow." But this time, Ethan didn't listen. He remembered Emma's words, "Tomorrow is the most dangerous lie." So he worked again. Small steps, small wins, but consistent. Days slowly turned into a pattern. Wake up on time. Work on time. Eat on time. Sleep on time. No excuses. No delays. Ethan realized something powerful. Success is boring. It's not magic. It's repetition. It's discipline. It's doing the same thing again and again, even when you don't feel like it. Meanwhile, Emma's business kept growing. She expanded her team, moved into a bigger office, and started handling bigger clients. Her clothes changed. Her lifestyle improved. But her routine, still the same. Simple, strict, disciplined. One afternoon, Ethan visited her again. This time, he looked different, his posture straighter, his eyes focused, his voice calmer. "I started," he said quietly. Emma smiled, not surprised, but proud. "I know," she replied. "I can see it." Ethan nodded. "It's not easy." Emma chuckled softly. "It was never supposed to be easy." She walked beside him, looking out at the busy city streets. "But it's simple." Ethan looked at her. "Simple." Emma nodded. "Yes, do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. That's it." Ethan repeated those words in his mind. He didn't need anything complicated anymore. He just needed consistency. Months passed again, but this time, the story was different. Ethan didn't stop. He didn't disappear. He didn't restart. He kept going. His small efforts turned into small results. Small results turned into real income. Real income turned into confidence. He upgraded his workspace, then his skills, then his network. He failed too. But now he fixed things immediately. Not tomorrow, not later, now. 1 year later, the same city looked different again. Not because the city changed, but because they changed. Emma Brooks, now a successful businesswoman. owned a growing company, respected by clients, leading a strong team. Ethan Cole, no longer stuck, no longer behind. He had built his own business too, not as big as Emma's, yet, but real. Stable, growing. Both of them stood on the rooftop of a tall building, watching the city lights below. The cold wind reminded them of their old village for a moment. Ethan smiled slightly. "We made it." Emma looked at him. "We worked for it." There was a difference. Ethan nodded. "I wasted so much time," he admitted quietly. Emma didn't deny it, but she didn't judge either. She simply said, "But you stopped wasting it. That's what matters." Ethan looked at her again, this time with full understanding. "Tell me one thing," he asked. "What's the real secret?" Emma took a deep breath. Then she said the same truth, in the simplest way possible. "Do it now." She continued, "Wake up on time. Work on time. Finish your tasks on time. Don't wait for mood. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect day." She looked directly into his eyes. "If it needs to be done, do it immediately. That's how you win." Ethan smiled. This time, not with doubt, but with certainty. Because now he lived that truth. The boy who once said, "I'll do it tomorrow," was now the man who said, "I'll do it now." And that changed everything. The city lights shined brighter. The future felt clearer. And somewhere far behind, that small snowy village still existed. But now, it was just a memory, a starting point of two lives that began the same way, but changed because of one simple decision. Do it today, not tomorrow.